What's going on, guys and girls? It's Ghost Robo, and we are less than a month away from a brand new console. The first console in a number of years, and this one is a big one. From Nintendo, the Switch releases on March 3rd. I want to give you guys my advice, my input, and my opinion on if you should buy it, why you should buy it, and what you should buy if you decide to jump aboard the Switch mobile that is cruising for what I feel is a very successful run. Now, to give you a little background of why I feel qualified to make this video, I have played hours of the Switch. I got to play 4 hours at the press reveal event in New York City, and then I got to play around 3 to 4 more hours at PAX South. I waited in those lines many times, and I've gotten hands-on time with almost every single launch game, a lot of time with Zelda Breath of the Wild, a lot of time with 1-2 Switch, Snipper Clips, ARMS, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2, Street Fighter, Super Bomberman R. I've played majority of the stuff, and so I feel like I've got a good grasp on the Pro Controller, on the grip, on the Joy-Cons, on handheld, on tabletop, on home console mode, and I've played all those. I've really thought about them. I've really, digested it. I've been talking about it nonstop on my Switch Force channel, and so I feel like I am qualified to give you guys my opinion, my take, and my recommendation on what to do with this whole Nintendo Switch thing. Now, the Wii U, we know, did not do hot, did not do well, had some really good games and not a whole lot else. It failed in a number of ways, and in many of them, selling very poorly, displaying and showing very poorly. Even some of the ideas that the system started with in terms of the gamepad eventually just ran astray and devolved and dissolved into nothingness. But the Switch is a new shot for Nintendo to establish themselves as the provider of unique ideas in the game industry, but successful unique ideas. I have played a lot of the Switch, I have played a lot of the games, I've played a lot with the different controllers, and I can safely tell you that this is their best and most proficiently executed idea in a long time. I would argue that this is a better executed idea than the Wii, which sold over 100 million units. Now, will this sell 100 million? I don't think so. That was sort of a phenomenon that maybe happens, once in a company's lifetime. But I think this will be insanely successful because of how high quality and how polished the experience is. You have a system that is a hybrid handheld and a hybrid home console that work together in unison to provide the greatest local multiplayer box that you can possibly buy. And I think that in today's day and age, I know that online and cell phones and screens and Twitter and Snapchat are the way of the world, but I feel like there is still a part of us that craves interaction, and I think that this is the game system to encourage and support that interaction, and also be your private system to take wherever you want to go. So let me lay out why I think you should buy the Switch, who it's for, and then what to buy. I think you should buy the Switch if you like innovative ideas. I think you should buy the Switch if you like Nintendo games, because let's be honest, they are going to acquire and accrue some third-party support once this thing sees success, but there still will be a dearth of third-party support and exclusives in comparison to the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. Now, the Nintendo titles will come out in full force, and Reggie and Kimishima and everyone there has done a great job of assuring us that the titles from Nintendo will continue to hit. So they have spread things out with Zelda Breath of the Wild launching, eventually Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in April, Splatoon 2, ARMS, onto Super Mario Odyssey, and whatever else they unveil at E3 will keep a steady supply of hits and solid purchasable games on your radar continuously, and that is critical. There still will be some good third-party stuff. I still think there will be interesting exclusives and cool scenarios where you can buy a multi-platform game on the Switch and bring it with you wherever you want to go. But you do need to have a love, or at least a like, for what Nintendo offers, because that's probably where the best titles are going to come from. If you are someone that travels or takes trips, or just is outside or at work or at school, and you feel like you would like to have a game system with you that's not named mobile phone and not named 3DS and not named Vita, this is probably for you, because now you're bringing a AAA home console box with you on the go, and it has a great looking screen, it's got great controls, it's got great form factor, it's got not so great of a battery life, but that can be quickly handled and fixed with a portable charger, and you're able to bring the exact same game that you played at home with you on the go. So this to me is, again, an example of how this idea is executed with just extreme mastery, right? It's the exact same game, it looks crispy on that screen, it plays wonderfully, and the controllers, while not the best controller ever, work. No matter if you're playing this thing with the Pro, with the Joy-Cons, with the grip, side of the handheld, it all feels good, it all works well, and even with the small form factor, you're able to carefully and effectively manipulate your characters on screen. So have no fear, even if you got big hands, you will be okay. I've talked to people that have big hands, I've talked to people that have small hands, and we all really like the control schemes. So if you're someone that wants to bring that with you and have it alongside your daily life, this is absolutely for you. And to me, everyone would want that, right? I since I was a young gamer, wanted to bring my NES and my Super Nintendo, my N64 with me. Now, I'm not one to advocate for a constant 24/7 screen time and game playing, but I do think it's super awesome that I'll be able to bring Breath of the Wild with me when I go to the airport, when I travel back home, and I don't have to pack the whole box, I don't have to pack all the cords. And even if I'm making a small trip to the doctor's office, or a bank, or a restaurant, and I'm waiting for someone, or waiting for something, I'm able to play and use that to fill the time instead of Twitter, which is becoming more and more negative as the days go on. So that sounds a lot more fun to play Mario, or Zelda, or Skyrim, or eventually Super Mario Odyssey, or whatever, on your Switch versus either a mobile app or social media. Now, you should also buy the Switch if you are looking for a way to play multiplayer with people around you. I think that the online will be good. I don't know that it'll be amazing. It's coming in cheap, which is nice. Feel like they will do a better job than they did before, but there's no promises. So this is going to be an online machine, a solo machine, but also a really great local multiplayer machine. That mode where you flip up the kickstand and you play tabletop and you play with someone next to you is a brilliant moment. It is so much fun, and it harkens back and calls back the nostalgia of yesteryear when we all sat around and played Smash Brothers, when we all sat around and played Mario Kart, and that stuff doesn't happen in today's rat race. Right? We find it hard to get FaceTime with our friends. We find it hard to interact with our families. And now this is a way to do that at the snap of your fingers, or at the switch of your fingers, because it kind of sounds like that. There are some excellent games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Snipper Clips and Jackbox Party Pack 3 that allow you to play local multiplayer in a plethora of genres, but all with this one screen and all with these little controllers. Now, you will need to buy more Joy-Con if you want to expand beyond 2 people playing locally on the Switch screen. But if you get a Pro controller, eventually they have talked about maybe supporting other controllers. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But if you got a friend or a partner or a roommate, this is going to be glorious. And then if you meet up with someone else that has a Switch, now you got all sorts of controller options. And hopefully they incorporate some sort of ad hoc single cart play a la the 3DS to really allow people to try out a variety of titles. So that's kind of who the Switch is for, and I feel like most people fit into those categories. Now, for me personally, I'm getting it because I love Nintendo, because I believe in the idea. I think the hybrid is something brand new. I think nothing like this has ever been done at this quality level, at this, with such capability, right? The Vita was a great platform. I love my Vita. 3DS is fantastic. I love my 3DS. But never have we been able to take something on the go with us that is basically a console in our hands. And I think that is a paradigm shift that we can't quite prepare for. We aren't quite sure exactly how bringing Zelda Breath of the Wild around with us will affect our gameplay habits on other consoles or in other instances. Maybe it really is such a fun experience that we gravitate towards handheld instead of home console play. And we're playing Breath of the Wild more on the small screen than the big screen just because of the convenience and sort of the cleverness of having it in your hands. But alas, let's talk about, if you're going to buy this, what you should get. The system itself is $300. It comes with the 2 Joy-Con, obviously, the handheld itself, the dock. It comes with the grip, not the charging grip, but the grip, and no games, as far as we know. Now, the launch lineup has been just not really hyped for some time, but I think it's coming together in a way that is better than people are giving it credit for. Now, at day 1, you buy the system, that's $300. I think Zelda Breath of the Wild is a given, right? That game is massive, over 100 shrines, tons of weapons, amazing interaction with the world and the environment, and this really cool storyline that is now narrated and seems to have some sweet characters in the form of the new Goron, the new Zora, the new Zelda. And we're hearing more and more details that just have me chomping at the bit for this thing. So you grab Breath of the Wild. I think that Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus is where I'm going to go next, because it is a $40 game, and it is the perfect Switch game. I love Binding of Isaac. I have not yet played Afterbirth Plus. It adds in a whole lot of new stuff, a whole lot of new rooms, bosses, enemies, items. and this game will be ideal for taking on the go with the Switch. And it's just a good-looking game that doesn't do anything too crazy, but does everything with extreme finesse. I love the makers, and I love the game itself, so that's where I'll go. I'm also going to get 1-2 Switch. Now, we're jumping all around price. Zelda is 60, Binding of Isaac's 40, and 1-2 Switch is 50. And I think 1-2 Switch gets a bad rap for being a noob game. And I don't really think that is what it is. I think it's much more of a party game, a fun game. I think it is more gamer-centric than something like Wii Sports, and let me tell you why. Wii Sports was made to simulate sports. And if you play those sports, you know that it's not even close. It's a fun approximation, but it is no way a replacement. Now, the activities in 1-2 Switch are not typically things that you would do in your daily life. Now, maybe some of you do milk cows daily. Maybe some of you do count marbles in a box daily. Maybe some of you do slam samurai swords at other people's heads or play ping pong with your ears. But I think that the activities and the little games in 1-2 Switch, of which there are supposedly 24, are more fun in a gamer way than what Wii Sports delivered. Now, I loved Wii Sports Resort in particular for the bow and arrow game. But I think 1-2 Switch is going to have a really nice, almost mobile game effect, because this is something that you can play for literally 2 minutes and then put it away. And Wii Sports could do that, but it was even a little bit of a more elongated play session to really get your value. 1-2 Switch, to me, is like the ideal minigame collection, right? It's boiling down Mario Party minigames in an interactive and more party-centric way, and I think that's brilliant. I really like 1-2 Switch, and I thought that I would think it was goofy or cheesy. I'm not really one to do parties or to do big gatherings, but I think that the stuff that's there, you know, the samurai sword game, like I mentioned, where you're trying to fake out the other person, the gun minigame, where you're seeing who can quick draw the fastest, milking to get the best rhythm, counting the balls with the HD rumble, it really allows you to take advantage of some of the different fun features of the Switch that aren't going to be utilized probably in something like Zelda Breath of the Wild. So why not mix it up and give yourself something that is totally on the other end of the spectrum, but still really fun? I'm also going to be buying a Pro Controller because I believe in that thing. I like the Pro Controller. I love how it feels. I think it's a really well-made controller, and I love how it feels, and I love the gyro. Splatoon 2 is not out at launch. It's coming later this summer, but I think it's a great controller to have, either to use with Breath of the Wild on the big screen, to use with Binding of Isaac on the big screen, or just to have in preparation for future titles like Splatoon 2, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like eventually Super Mario Odyssey. And Nintendo signs weird with accessories, so this one is very limited, so I'm getting one just to make sure that I have it. Now, it is $70, which is overpriced, but I will tell you that the gyro works super well for Splatoon, and it feels really good. So it's hard for me to complain too much when it feels like a high-quality product. Now, I won't be buying any extra Joy-Cons at the start, because in my living situation, it's me and my girlfriend, Becca. I don't have a third or fourth person. I'm expecting, I guess, that my brothers will probably get a Switch of their own, and therefore when I go home, we'll have more than 2 controllers to play with. But in my normal daily encounters and gameplay, I think 2 will serve me well, at least at the start. Now, I also want to say, put $20 away and keep it in a safe spot, because soon after launch, Snipperclips launches, and I think this is a must-have title. It defines Nintendo doing things differently, but still in such a wondrous and effective and quality way. Snipperclips on the surface looks like a baby game. It's 2 little like pieces of paper, pieces of fabric, cutting each other up and popping balloons. You'd think this is something for 4-year-olds, but I promise you it is co-op bliss. It is so much fun. I love the quick pace challenge, and again, it's something that you can pull out just for a few minutes. And this is where the Switch can succeed so well, by having and servicing different needs, different gameplay styles, different gameplay sessions, different groups, right? So if you're home for the night and you want to play 4 hours of Breath of the Wild, you can do that. If you want to kick it up on your 60-inch, you can do that. If you want to pull it out for 2 minutes and get a goofy round of 1-2 switching, you can do that. And if you want to play some co-op with your buddy on the train or in the backseat of the car, grab Snipperclips. I think Snipperclips, though, is going to wow people, and it's what Nintendo does well. It's what Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 1 did well, where they take a unique idea, they sort of take a gaming concept and spin it around a little bit and find this unique angle that Nintendo seems to be the only company capable of achieving, and then bring it to fruition. And Snipperclips is developed outside, but Nintendo is helping publish. So I think that is a must-have. So now you're looking at a couple games, you're looking at the Pro Controller, you're looking at the system. It gets pretty expensive, but any new console is. And if you think back to launches of the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 4, you were spending a whole lot more. And I think that with Snipperclips, Binding of Isaac, and Breath of the Wild, you have a guaranteed super solid start to your Switch library. Now, we haven't heard much about Virtual Console, but there could be room to pick up a Luigi's Mansion, a Super Mario Sunshine, a Donkey Kong Country 2, depending on where they decide to go with their SNES, NES, hopefully GameCube, and 64 Virtual Consoles. But we'll wait and see on that. Now, the Switch does not have really many apps at the start, if any. There is no internet browser at the beginning, no Netflix, nothing of that sort, but this is a game-playing device, and I think that it is wise for them to focus in on that, especially with limited battery life in handheld mode. Most likely, you already have a Roku stick, an Amazon Fire TV, an Apple TV, an iPad, an iPhone, an Android, something else that can run Netflix, or just a smart TV itself. So it's not a loss to me that the system, the Switch, does not have these apps. I love that they're doubling down on gaming, and I think that their decision to spread the titles and deliver consistent new experiences is going to really pay off. I'm excited for us to have the opportunity to save a little money at the start and spend it as the year progresses and be a little bit pickier. We can wait and see what ARMS is like. We can wait and see if Mario Kart Deluxe feels like enough of a new version. We can wait and see what Mario Odyssey eventually becomes. We can wait and see if Xenoblade 2 really will hit this year. It's not all front-loaded, it is spread throughout the months, and I don't view that as a bad thing, but rather a good thing. Now, if you're looking for some negatives, you could say that the screen is only 720p. You could say that the graphics are nowhere near as good as the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. You could say that the third-party support, where is it? You could say that games coming out in March, April, May are so awesome, you want to save your money for For Honor and Horizon and Mass Effect Andromeda and Injustice 2, and that's okay. I would totally understand. But I will say that this is a unique moment because it's delivering an experience quite unlike anything else. And yes, we've played handhelds. Yes, we played home consoles. But for you to really get this all in one, it's never happened before. And I think if you play it and you feel it in your hands, you'll realize that the build quality and the execution of the ideas are really quite remarkable. And that makes all of this money worth it in the end, because you are getting something that is going to change your habits, which is so weird, because the PlayStation 4 changed graphics, it changed controllers, but did it change habits? Not really. Now, if you are a hardcore online-only first-person shooter player and you're deeply entrenched in the PS4, Xbox One ecosystem, maybe the Switch just isn't for you. I'd still encourage you to check out the trailers, watch them hands-on, see if the idea piques your interest, but maybe it's not for you, and that's totally okay. I do think, though, that the Switch will appeal to far more of the gaming audience than either of the last two Nintendo consoles. Sure, the Wii had a real great hold on the Good Morning America crowd, but I feel like it missed a lot of gamers. And I think the Switch is much more of a gamer's console and much more of a gamer's idea, and I think it will really have a higher success rate of appealing and exciting gamers than the Wii U or the Wii did. So those are my Switch pre-release thoughts on who I think it's for, why I think you should get it, what I think you should get with it, and, you know, who it's not for as well. And I'd love to hear if you guys are picking one up, if you've already pre-ordered, if you're going to wait and see if it's totally not for you. Let's have a discussion and talk about it in the comments and see what kinds of things are interesting to you, or what kinds of things make you nervous. Is it bad that they haven't revealed all the info on the online infrastructure on the Virtual Console? Does that turn you off? Are you just so excited about bringing Zelda in bed that you don't care about anything else? Or are you totally wanting to save your money for all those great PS4 and Xbox One and PC games coming out in the next few months? Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully this was helpful and informative. Like I said, I've played a lot of it, and so I wanted to just sort of give you guys you know, my thoughts, my opinion, and my recommendation on the Switch. We are very, very close. It's super close. I've got this Switch Holy Water that I'm saving for launch day, and then we will drink and feast on the beautiful new console. New consoles are my favorite time in gaming, so I can't wait regardless, and I'm just so excited to share it with you. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys and girls have a fantastic day. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Drink so much. Until next time, mwah, I love you, and we'll see you all later.